Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to jump straight into two absolute titans of music and pop culture, Elvis Presley and Madonna.
Yeah, this is a big one. We're talking about foundations here.
Exactly. Think of this as, well, kind of your fast track to understanding how their influence goes way beyond just the songs themselves.
It really does. If you've ever wondered, how music and fashion and even social attitudes got so linked up, looking at Elvis and Madonna is, well, essential. They basically rewrote the rule book for what a music star could be.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just about looking back, is it? Understanding their stories, the way they innovated, the controversies.
Oh, yeah, the controversies.
Right, and their legacies, it gives you a much richer way to appreciate music today. They were real pioneers.
Definitely. They weren't just following trends, they were setting them, influencing everything from artist image to, bigger cultural conversations.
So let's get into it. We're going to trace some of those huge shifts they triggered.
It's fascinating, too, because they came from different times, different styles.
Yeah.
But both fundamentally changed what we expect from a superstar. It wasn't just about having a good voice anymore.
No, it was about the whole persona, that magnetism.
Right.
Okay, so let's start with Elvis, the Elvis Revolution, you could call it. When he showed up, wow, it was like a shockwave.
It really was. That stage presence, the moves,
Those famous moves.
and that voice, that southern sound, mixed with something new.
Yeah.
It wasn't just music. It felt like a cultural event. He's the one who really blasted rock and roll into everyone's living rooms.
He did. And the impact just spread outwards, didn't it? It wasn't just the charts.
Not at all. You saw it in movies, definitely in fashion, that whole look.
Yeah.
And it plugged right into youth culture. He became this symbol of rebellion against the kind of buttoned-up 1950s.
Yeah, he did.
And what's interesting is that sound, he pioneered that mix of blues, gospel, country. It wasn't just musically new. It kind of tapped into this feeling young people had, wanting something exciting, something that broke the mold.
You absolutely have to talk about Ed Sullivan, right? 1956. That appearance is legendary, partly because of the censorship.
The waist-up only rule.
Exactly, filming him from the waist up.
But the funny thing is, that censorship, it arguably just made him bigger.
You think so?
I do. By trying to kind of hide his energy, the establishment inadvertently made him seem even more dangerous and exciting to the kids. That whole fuss just rocketed him into superstardom, made him this symbol of, of thrilling rebellion.
Yeah, like forbidden fruit, almost.
Sort of. It was brilliant marketing, even if they didn't mean it that way.
He really did capture something, didn't he? That emerging counterculture vibe, the sound of change. And, to really hammer home how big a deal he was, just think about what John Lennon said.
Oh, the famous quote.
Before Elvis, there was nothing. That's a statement.
It's huge, isn't it? But it shows the scale of the shift he represented.
Yeah.
Like year zero for rock music in the mainstream.
Absolutely. And we should also mention his early collaborators. You can't forget them.
Snow crucial. Working with Sun Records, with Sam Phillips. That partnership was key to crafting that raw, groundbreaking sound. They weren't afraid to mix things up.
Yeah, they took risks. Blending genres, created something totally fresh and, electric. And just a fun little detail, away from all the world-changing stuff. Apparently Elvis really loved peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
Yeah, the fried ones, right?
I think so. It kind of makes the icon feel a bit more human,
It does. Those little quirks always do. Okay, so let's jump ahead now. Fast forward, 25, 30 years? Early 80s. Madonna and Louise Ciccone arrives.
Right. If Elvis was maybe like a single explosion, Madonna's career feels more like continuous evolution, constant reinvention.
Reinvention is definitely the word. She hit the scene and just kept changing, kept pushing. Always.
Think about those early hits, like A Virgin, Material Girl. Catchy, yeah, but they were doing more than that.
Oh, much more. They were directly challenging ideas about, women, sexuality, identity. She used her image, her lyrics, everything to spark conversations, to provoke.
Yeah, she seemed totally in control of that provocation, too.
She really did.
Yeah.
Positioned herself as this cultural instigator, tackling taboos, owning her image. That was pretty radical for a female pop star back then. She claimed her agency.
And the fashion. You can't talk Madonna without the fashion.
No way.
Yeah.
The lace gloves, the crucifixes, the layering.
It wasn't just clothes, was it? It felt like a whole attitude. She basically gave a generation permission to experiment and be themselves.
It was like another layer of her art, wasn't it? Her fashion was part of the message. And if you link it back to Elvis, both of them really understood visual power, how looking a certain way amplified the music.
That's a great point.
For Madonna, fashion was just integral. And like Elvis had Sam Phillips, Madonna had key producers too, right? People like Nile Rodgers, Patrick Leonard.
Yeah.
They helped shape that iconic 80s sound.
Those amazing dance tracks.
Huh.
Yeah. And kind of like the Elvis sandwich thing, Madonna's had her own interesting sidelines, hasn't she? Her interest in Kabbalah later on, the constant shifting, pop star, actress, spiritual explorer.
Yeah.
It all adds to this complex picture.
It does. Which brings us to a really key idea, I think.
Okay.
For both Elvis and Madonna, their impact, their legacy, it's way bigger than just the hit songs. They became these cultural reference points.
Yeah, touchstones, sparking debate, changing how people thought or dressed.
They redefined what being a music icon even meant. It wasn't only about record sales. It was about, making a statement, challenging things, leaving a real mark on society's values and style.
They weren't just reflections of their time.
No, they actively shaped it. They grabbed the wheel, culturally speaking, and steered things in new directions.
And that connects to us listening now, right? Pop culture isn't just fluff. It's like a mirror to how society changes, our beliefs, our rebellions.
Our hopes even, yeah. Understanding figures like Elvis and Madonna helps you read that cultural map, understand that ongoing story.
So when you hear new music today, see new styles.
Think about the groundwork they laid, their boldness, their vision.
Yeah,
You can still feel the echoes.
definitely. And maybe, here's something to chew on.
Okay.
Think about artists now. Who today do you see having that kind of culture-shaping impact? What moments in music right now might people look back on in 50 years, the way we look back at Elvis on Ed Sullivan or Madonna's early videos?
Ooh, that's a great question. What are the groundbreaking moments now? Makes you think.
It does.
It certainly does.
Well, that about wraps up our deep dive for today on the incredible, enduring legacies of Elvis Presley and Madonna. We really hope it's giving you maybe a new angle on their influence.
Yeah, and if you want to dig deeper, maybe check out some B-sides,
Yeah.
or read a bit about the eras they emerged from. Context is everything.
Mm-hmm. Or even just think about your own style, like you said about Madonna, how fashion can be expression.
Totally. And hey, if you're feeling really inspired,
Make a playlist. Track the evolution.
yeah. Or, throw an Elvis or Madonna themed party. Why not?
Could be fun.
Until our next deep dive, keep listening, keep watching, keep exploring the culture around you.